Muka Stalin has completed 6 months as Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, named after the iconic Soviet leader Joseph Stalin. Muka Stalin was a student leader and was arrested during the emergency, was the mayor of Chennai and also the Deputy Chief Minister during his father Karunanidhi's tenure. Stalin came to power after 10 long years of AIADMK's rule. In his vision document, he had promised that he shall usher in new changes in Tamil Nadu's politics as well as governance. Muka Stalin's supporters say that he is far more mature when it comes to handling the opposition and is a very, very mature politician as well. But then his detractors say that this is just the honeymoon period and one will have to wait and see how long Stalin can sustain. As I see it, MK Stalin has clutched firmly to the Dravidian ideology and also the federal polity of Tamil Nadu. And this is historically also true of the Dravidian parties, considering that Tamil Nadu was one of the first states which pushed back the imposition of Hindi and therefore defied the centre as a state from the south of India. He expressed this sentiment very vociferously in one of his tweets, in which he said, "Federalism is being destroyed by the BJP, which has scant regard for states' rights." The result was Stalin and his cabinet colleagues referring to the centre as Ondriya Arasu and not as Madhya Arasu, which means the centre. So it was more of Ondriya Arasu, which means the union, and not Madhya Arasu, which means the centre. If we look at Muka Stalin's hits against his misses, then I guess his hits resonate more because they are based on his Dravidian principles and ideology. Now let's look at some of his hits and what many people would say populist measures. His fight against COVID, his payout of 2,000 rupees for all families who had been impacted by COVID, the weekend vaccination camps. For women, free bus rides to all the women, issuing ration cards to all the women who are single. Also appointing non-Brahmin Oduvars, particularly women, in temples across Tamil Nadu. Education, Ilam Thedi Kalvi, which means education at your doorstep. Industries and development. I think Stalin is the first chief minister to have appointed an economic advisory council comprising names such as Dr. Raghuram Rajan and Professor Jean Dresse. Signing MOUs with 59 firms across sectors. Invites investments to the tune of 35,200 crores in Tamil Nadu. 10 projects have been completed at the cost of 4,000 crores. Healthcare scheme, Makkal Thedi Maruthavam, which means healthcare at your doorstep. Those were the hits. Now let's take a look at the misses of MK Stalin. 2021 flood management, or rather mismanagement. The failure of Chennai Corporation to clear debris across canals in Chennai. No response from the DMK government despite a heads up 3 months ahead of the monsoon season. The national education policy. There is still no clarity about what Tamil Nadu will do, although Stalin has said that he shall establish a state education council. The next miss, and which is very big, is NEET. In his election manifesto, Stalin had said very clearly that if his government comes to power, they shall abolish NEET. So far, they have not been able to do anything about abolishing NEET in Tamil Nadu. The GST. Tamil Nadu and the centre have forever been on a war path so far as GST is concerned, and till date, there is no clarity, or rather one should say consensus on the issue. Those were some of the hits and misses of Muka Stalin, but make no mistake, because ultimately Stalin is delivering on what is called the kernel of Dravidian ideology, which is to empower the poor and the marginalized. It is also a fact that he has no baggage to carry, unlike his predecessors AIADMK, who had an alliance with the BJP, or even his father Karunanidhi, who flirted with the BJP between 1999 and 2003. After 6 months, it is all very well to announce welfare policies, particularly when Tamil Nadu is facing both the floods and, of course, the COVID pandemic. But then, who shall answer the 61,000 crore deficit which is there in Tamil Nadu budget, which the finance minister called as being in the red? One will have to wait and see how Stalin delivers on that particular promise. But as of now, after 6 months, Muka Stalin is a kind of a success story insofar as furthering his Dravidian ideology is concerned.